good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the informative speech video that I have chosen to do today. It's titled, "The Man Behind the Bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer." When the first atomic bomb exploded over the New Mexico desert in 1945, J. Robert Oppenheimer didn't smile, he didn't cheer. Instead, he quoted a 2,000-year-old Hindu script, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." That moment, equal parts triumph and tragedy, captured exactly why Oppenheimer is still one of the most fascinating figures in American history. Most people know him as the father of the atomic bomb, but there's a lot more to him than that. Today, I want to tell you about both sides of Oppenheimer, the groundbreaking physicist who reshaped science, and the deeply conflicted man who never stopped wrestling with what he had done. I've looked up everything I can about this man, from biographies to scientific journals, historical archives, and what I found surprised me. Oppenheimer wasn't just a genius. He was quirky, emotional, even self-destructive, and that's what makes him not just interesting, but relatable. So in the next few minutes, we're going to go over everything from his unmatched academic brilliance, his unusual, sometimes bizarre personality, and the emotional cost of creating the most powerful weapon in history. We're going to start with his mind. Oppenheimer was astonishingly intelligent. He learned French, Greek, and Latin as a kid, and by 12, he was studying mineralogy and writing scientific societies like it was no big deal. He breezed through Harvard in just 3 years, studying chemistry, philosophy, literature, all at once. But it was physics that caught his obsession. He earned his PhD in Germany under Max Born. Yes, that is the father of mechanics, quantum mechanics, Max Born. And while there, Oppenheimer co-developed what's now known as the Born-Oppenheimer approximation. If you've taken quantum chemistry, you've seen it. Super complicated, it's very impressive. Back in the US, he took faculty jobs at Caltech and Berkeley and practically dragged American physics into the quantum era. His lectures were so intense that students used to say, the problem with Oppenheimer is that he speaks too fast and thinks even faster. But his real moment came during World War II, when he was picked to lead the secret Manhattan Project. He wasn't chosen for his brains. Obviously that helped, but he was chosen because he could rally the egos of Nobel Prize-winning scientists, military brass, and government bureaucrats into a single team. He was a man of vision. Hans Both, one of the top scientists, later said, Oppenheimer was intellectually unparalleled, but what set him apart was his ability to make people to want to follow him. Now you might expect someone this brilliant to be cold and robotic. Not Oppenheimer. He was eccentric, sometimes painfully so. He dressed like a cowboy, chain-smoked unfiltered cigarettes, and wore the same tattered hat almost every day. He was also notorious for dropping poetry quotes into physics discussions. He was a very unique character, but not all his quirks were endearing. Some were downright disturbing. While studying at Cambridge, Oppenheimer struggled with depression and isolation. He was so jealous of a tutor that he actually tried to poison him by injecting poison into an apple and leaving it on the teacher's desk for him to eat. The only reason why he wasn't expelled was because his father donated money to the university. He also had a complicated romantic life, including a long affair with Jean Tatlock, a psychiatrist and Communist Party member, which would come back to haunt him politically. Still, his charisma was undeniable. Even people who feared him found him magnetic. He was the kind of man who could walk into a room full of generals, light his cigarette with shaking hands, and then calmly explain quantum tunneling like it was a casual dinner conversation. He was truly brilliant. But brilliance and charisma didn't protect him from the consequences of his own creation. After leading the development of the bomb that ended the war, Oppenheimer quickly became a national hero. He was on magazine covers, met the president, and he helped shape US nuclear policy. He was really involved in trying to prevent the proliferation and creation of the bombs. After having created it, he realized how destructive it truly was. But all that fame and reverence didn't last. As the Cold War ramped up, he began to oppose the creation of the hydrogen bomb, a bomb far more destructive than the ones dropped on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. This made enemies, powerful ones. In 1954, during the heart of McCarthyism, Oppenheimer was put on trial, not for a crime, but for his political views. Because he had once attended communist meetings, had communist friends, and questioned the arms race, his security clearance was revoked, he was humiliated on live radio, and his colleagues were forced to testify against him. Burton Shorewin's 2005 biography, American Prometheus, describes the hearing as a betrayal that broke him, intellectually and spiritually. After that, he mostly withdrew from public life. He gave lectures teaching his newest theories, trying to find peace, but he never really did. In 1967, he died of throat cancer, widely respected for his intelligence, but still thought of as a traitor to his country. So what do we make of Oppenheimer? We remember the genius who split the atom, but we hardly think of the man that spent his life trying to put the world back together. The man so drowned in guilt from his creation that he died alone, regretting it until his last breath. He was brilliant and broken, arrogant but deeply thoughtful. He changed the world, probably not for the better, and didn't run from what that meant. Maybe that's what makes him such a memorable part of our history. Because in Oppenheimer, we don't just see the creator of the bomb, we see a reflection of what it means to be human, gifted, flawed, and haunted by the things we did or didn't do. Thank you.